Bears are everywhere. They're on all 7 continents, if you pretend they're in Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. They're also in a lot of cartoons. Bears are one of the biggest predators in the animal kingdom, but the cartoon bears, not so much. Now, I know for a fact I couldn't fight a bear. I'm gone within 30 seconds. But fictional bears, I might stand a chance. So today, I'm going to be ranking how easily I could beat certain fictional bears, or how easily they can beat me. Hopefully answering the question, how can I fare against a bear? There aren't really rules. We're assuming I don't have weapons, they don't have weapons, unless that's a crucial accessory to their character. I guess I should say what kind of physical attributes I have in my favor. Despite my powerful and formidable voice, I'm not exactly an Adonis, not really the second coming of Zeus. Let's just say there's a reason I'm a YouTuber. 100 pounds is about how much I'm able to lift with moderate ease. A lot of these bears happen to be bipedal, so they're going to tower over me. A bear can be up to 7 feet when standing on its back legs. I'm 5'10", but a good 6'8" in shoes, which I'm wearing to this fight. We're going to assume that each fight is on separate occasions, not gauntlet style, because my stamina would be gone after the first fight. The first category is called paced, because that's what I could beat them into. Not saying that'd be necessary, but these bears don't even hold a challenge. Just traffic cones. Anyone can plow through them. Starting off with Fozzie Bear from the Muppets. I hate to break the illusion, but he's a puppet. So I would rip him away from the puppeteer, and I have won. Now, if I had to fight the puppeteer, that's a different story. From here on out, I will be taking the fur of them and laying them down in the arena, hopefully to intimidate the following challengers. Using the same logic, I could easily win against Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House. And for the fun of it, I can also take down his love interest Ursa and the cub Oho. Look at this thing. Just grab the fur and rip it from the puppeteer. And then I have another nice little bear hide. Teddy Ruxpin, the iconic 80s toy. I would just take out the cassette tape. What is he gonna do? Call for help? I could then easily stomp on his animatronic head and bust it. Terry from The Amazing World of Gumball. Easy. Lotso Huggins Bear from Toy Story 3. Yeah, this guy's a real meanie. For toys. And I'm not a toy. I'd grab him by the arms and spin him in a circle, accelerating my centripetal motion, and let go, flinging him away like Team Rocket. On the topic of teddy bears, there are a few, so let's just get those out of the way too, because I'm fairly certain I could just rip them limb from limb. Benjamin Bear from the Canadian show, The Secret World of Benjamin Bear. He is the leader of a teddy bear community, and if he can call upon them for help, it might be a little more challenging, but still, his stuffing is going to be strewn across the forest. Snuggle Bear, I would make him drink his own product. Nah, he's too cute for that. Actually, Build-A-Bear, we're assuming the fight is in the store. I would do one of two things. Option 1 is creating a pacifist bear, so he will refuse to fight as I behead him. Or option 2, I shove the bear onto the stuffer machine and hold it there, filling with so much stuffing that it rips him seam from seam, exploding him, maybe traumatizing all the kids in the store. The original teddy bear, created because of Theodore Roosevelt. It's not fictional or a character, breaking basically the whole criteria for this video, and because of that, he has to die. Also, it'd be like 123 years old or something, so I don't know if he's still with us. I feel like time probably got to him. Aloysius from the 1940s novel Bride Sheet Revisited. You probably don't know who this is, and I don't either. Google told me about him. But he looks like his face is already half melted, so I would just finish the job. Same thing goes for Old Bear, whoever this is. Also, it looks like his face is half melted. Tangerine Bear, you also probably don't know who this is, but I do. He's from the Tangerine Bear, Home in Time for Christmas. He was made with an upside down smile. I was forced to watch this at 3 years old in the Christian preschool I went to. The only time I ever fell asleep throughout all of school was during this movie. And I remember the dream I had. That's not important though. I would simply put him in this thing. I'm not allowed weapons. I probably don't have that available, so I would just rip him up. Corduroy from his book, and Duffy from Disneyland, I guess. I'm including the larva teddy bear too because, well, I mean. Humphrey Bear would be easy if it was this mascot version. It'd be easy to just kick his feet out, but if it's the animated one, he'd probably have his trash poker, which should also probably be pretty easy to take because he's gopher-sized. Gummy Bar would be eaten. I would chew thoroughly though so he doesn't sing in my stomach. The only bad thing about that is he has a beard, I think. And it might kind of feel like Velcro. The Disney gummy bears aren't actual gummy bears, but I think they're small enough to conquer. I would still eat them. Just kidding, I'm not gonna risk trichinosis. Combo Panda from Ryan's World would be obliterated. I would have to be pulled off of him. Same goes for Jack from a kid's show called Goldie and Bear. Look at this thing. You're telling me you don't want him eviscerated? Poby from Pororo. This dude's a doofus. He looks nice. I don't think he'd want to hurt me, and same goes for me. I don't really want to hurt him, but it's him or me, and he's a goner. Little brown bear, I don't even know who he is. Little bear, one punch and he's out. Baby bear from Peppa Pig, he looks close enough to a football, so he's getting punted. Paddington, I would pull his hat over his eyes and then beat him. The only thing I'd be scared of is his connections. Andy Panda, he's stupid looking. The Hams bear, he's a mascot for a beer brand, so I'm going to hope he's drunk, and then I can do what I'm used to doing, beating up drunk people. Same sort of thing goes for the Grateful Dead bears. I'm hoping they're a different type of inebriated. I will beat them black and blue, and maybe a touch of gray. Bear rug. I don't know how it got on this list. It's already dead. Also not fictional. I'd still win. Pudsey, he's the mascot for BBC Children in Need. He's got an eye patch, so I think he's experienced in combat. However, I know how to win. He helps children in need. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a child in need. I'm not going to tell you how, but while Pudsey's distracted, upside the head. Don't boo me. It's smart. Oh, what's this? Special Agent Oso, the panda whose entire agency is known to help kids. He's here after Pudsey was just clobbered. I used the same tactic on Oso. Finally, the Thai Beanie Baby Bears. We're assuming it's all of them. One of each kind that was made. Not every single one made, because I would lose that. But just one of each kind of bear made. There are probably a few hundred, but they'd be like mini Goombas in Mario. I'd just have to shake to get them off me. They're very steppable, or stompable. Whichever. The next category, I'm still going to beat them with some ease. I think a few of these contenders are amounting to a challenge, and others their sheer size is the difficulty, not that they're dangerous. And I'll start with those. Grizzly of Grizzy and the Lemmings. If you don't know who he is, boy, you're in luck. I have a whole video dedicated to him. A group of lemmings are easily able to take him down, and his weak spot is yummy, so I'm hoping I would have a jar of it and just make him surrender and kneel. He is massive though. Boog, somewhat similar to Grizzy, he's just too lazy to care. Also, I have a whole video on open season. Ernest from Ernest and Celestine, massive. The bear from Masha and the Bear, massive. Breezely the polar bear of Hanna-Barbera. He tries to steal food from the military, so as long as it's sustenance, not classified weapons, I think I stand a chance. He is on the bigger side though. Also Hanna-Barbera, Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, and Cindy. I'm just going to assume they'd all be together. Cindy would be easy. I think I could take Boo Boo out simply by doing that trick where you point at their chest and say, "What's that?" and then when they look down, flick their nose, and then he'd fall. But the reason the trio is in this category is Yogi. He is smarter than the average bear. This would not be a physical fight. This would be a duel of wit. But I mean, I'm human, or human adjacent, and I think I'd be able to beat him in Jeopardy. The three bears from the Goldilocks story. This one requires some thought. I wouldn't be able to beat a family of 3 regular bears, but what I would do is punch Daddy Bear too soft, Mama Bear just right, and Baby Bear too hard, throwing their preferences all out of whack, which would make them confused, giving me the upper hand. Kissy Fur, I don't know much about this guy, but I feel like he could eat me super quickly like a paper shredder if I'm not paying constant attention, so as long as I'm focused, I'm good. Rupert Bear, he has like every good quality one can have, and proportionately he looks 8 feet tall. Just for those reasons, he would be harder to beat, but I think I could snap his legs like dry spaghetti noodles. Biffo from really old Beano comics, kinda looks like I'd have to show you on a doll what happened to me after the fight, but if I can maneuver him properly and avoid any fingers going into any certain places, I think I'd make it out unscathed. Smokey Bear would beat me. Like, there is no doubt in my mind. He also carries around a shovel and a bucket sometimes, so he gets weapons too. But, I would quickly hide behind some trees and hope and pray I'm able to start a fire. It should be a good enough distraction. He will try to extinguish the fire, and I can just karate kick him into it. Party Pat from Adventure Time. Nothing about him screams dangerous, but anything from the land of Ooh is inherently more dangerous. Same for the bear that pretended to be Finn and later revealed to be working for the Lich. Bearing, he doesn't have the Lich's help. I think I could still take him. Brer Bear, I think he could take me. He also carries a club, which wouldn't even be necessary to defeat me, but this time I will use a tactic I haven't tried. I will remind him of what he comes from. His original piece of media, and hopefully the shame will lead to a surrender. But if not, I'll promise him I'll do a video on him, bringing even more eyes onto it. He's trying to save his reputation. But when you have the Song of the South on your resume, sorry, bucko. Sugar Bear, mascot for Golden Crisp cereal. He's only in this category because he gives off a dangerous vibe. Icy Bear, he could induce a brain freeze, but that's it. Klondike Bear, mascot for the ice cream treats. I didn't think he was much of anything besides a direct ripoff of the Coca-Cola Bear until I saw this version of him. and he's definitely wearing someone's skin. Still though, I believe I could take him through sheer force of arrogance. Teddy bear from Inanimate Insanity. She is vicious, but she is still just a teddy bear. And finally, Winnie the Pooh. Look, I really, really don't want to hurt Pooh. And that's the only reason he's in this tier. He would be able to get a few hits in because of my reluctance, but ultimately, I would have to participate. Who wants to fight Pooh? No one. But I would have to. We are talking about the good Pooh, right? Not like the horror movie one. Okay, good. This is the draw tier. I'd say it's a 50-50 I win. The Berenstain Bears. The only issue is going to be Papa Bear. This is assuming I'm fighting the whole family of 4. Now, if we include the grandparents, I think Grizzly Gramps has a shotgun. But I'm going with the core family. Papa Bear and I would duke it out, but I think he would be too mentally destroyed after seeing what happened to his family, which would give me the advantage. This goes very differently, though, if he got a boost of rage, seeing what I just did to his family. Sea Bear from SpongeBob. I'm going to draw a circle around me to protect myself. It wouldn't be an oval. I wouldn't wear my sombrero in a goofy fashion. I wouldn't run. I wouldn't limp. I wouldn't crawl. I wouldn't do anything to make him angry. So now it's just a waiting game. I will sit in my circle until he goes away, or he will wait outside the circle until I die. Sonia from Madagascar. She isn't all up there in the noggin, so if she remains that way, easy. But if she suddenly gets angry, she wins. The panda and polar bear from Minecraft. I would just wait until the panda accidentally rolls itself off a mountain, but if that doesn't happen, assuming Minecraft logic applies, I would run far enough away out of the chunks to hopefully despawn them. But if that doesn't work, I would have to hit the panda 10 times and the polar bear 15 times to kill them. Again, assuming Minecraft logic works. But I don't know if I could land that many, so if all that fails, then yes, I would see this. Night Bear from My Singing Monsters. I don't know anything about him, and he doesn't look well, so I'd just wait until he keeled over and died. And if that didn't happen, he looks like he can just absorb me. The Great Root Bear, or Rudy, mascot for A&W, the best root beer. I will die on this hill. I would bargain with him that this game is stupid and we can just drink root beer together. And so we do. Actually, now that I think about it, I should have just done that with Pooh. Yeah, that would have been better. But he's already dead. Ted from Ted, there's a 100% chance he's under N influence. But which influence is what matters? If he's doped up, I can beat him. He'd be too slow. But if he's boozed up, he could be belligerent. Baloo from The Jungle Book, I have a very slim chance of winning this one. I would convince him to sing the bare necessities. And at this exact moment in the song, when we're floating down the river, I would push his head under. If I'm able to keep it under without falling off, I win. Any other circumstance, no. Tim the Bear from The Cleveland Show is massive, so he has that going for him, but he's devoutly religious, and let's just hope that he prays, and this fight goes against his code of ethics or whatever. But if not, yeah, I'm food. Ending this category off with the Teddy Grahams mascot. If it's this version or this version, I'm good. No chance they win. If it's the 80s version, this guy's a pimp, and his aura is enough to take me out. The next category is the opposite of the category 2 categories ago. I am going to lose these, but the bears will be scarred, hopefully. Barnacles from Octonauts. He's a captain, and he probably has military training. Hopefully, I could kick him in the diaphragm before he's able to bash my head into the cold dirt. The Wee Bear Bears trio. There are 3 of them, and they're bear-sized. The only thing going for me is they seem kinda like dough, and maybe I could squish them. Kit Cloud Kicker of Tailspin. He rides this hoverboard thing, and as long as I can dodge it, and it not decapitate me, I think I have a decent chance, but I could also be fighting the grown-up version, which gives me an even slimmer chance. Bladvik from Chima. It's very likely he's sleeping, and that's where my advantage comes from, but he is vicious. Have you seen the finale? Even less chance if he has chi, or if he has his entire tribe. The Hillbilly Bears from Hanna-Barbera. They have guns. Hopefully I can dodge it and take them while they're reloading. Rap Bear from Adventure Time. The only way to beat him is rapping. 9 times out of 10, he's going to win, but maybe I could pull off a sick freestyle. Malloy from Brickleberry. Size is the only thing going for me. Misha, a weird pick here, the mascot for the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games. On the off chance I'm not hypnotized and driven mad by its stare, I might be able to curb stomp him. The Brain from Arthur. He's just some dad, and I'm not confident I could just beat someone's dad in a fight. Poke the Bear, the phrase. I don't know how this got here. Peter the Panda from Phineas and Ferb. He's a skillful agent, but again, size, I could maybe kick him. The following are ones I'd lose sheerly because they are just bears. and their bare nature is the issue. But for some reason, I believe I could maybe get close to beating them. Little John from Robin Hood, Norm of the North. I know he's skillless, but still. The Frosted Flakes mascot. No, not Tony the Tiger. The off-brand Frosted Flakes. This polar bear. They're similar enough if you squint your eyes. And finally, the intensive care bear from The Simpsons. He has a crowbar. It doesn't look like it, but Homer says so. I believe I could take a few hits to my body with a crowbar before I gave up. Not my head, though. The final category is one I like to call Hmong decimation. I stand no chance. Absolutely none. There's no point in trying. The bears from Brother Bear, massive. Coca-Cola bear. He seems chill, but also ferocious. The other Coke bear, the booger sugar one, self-explanatory. Corporal from Penguins of Madagascar. Big polar bear with secret agent training. Also grade A weapons. Vincent from Over the Hedge. Again, just massive and evil. Bart the bear. The actor bear. Reasoning. Is a real bear. Gentle Ben. Is a real bear. Ioric Brinson. I don't even know who this is, but look at him. He's giant and has armor. Wallop the Trapmaster Skylander. He will shatter my head with one of those things. Also, Google says he's a bear. I don't think he is, but Skylanders need some representation. The bears from Sing. It's the mob. Super Ted. He has superpowers. Bear Grylls. The first 2 words to describe him on Wikipedia is British adventurer. I mean, I'm American, so historically I have a slight upper hand, but adventurer, I wish he was a real-life person. He'd be cool. The Chicago Bears. If I was fighting the mascot, I'd lose. But I'm assuming I'm fighting the whole team and the mascot, and I lose. Petey, the harassment panda from South Park. I'm scared of what he'd do to me before, and even worse, after he wins the fight. Bernard. I have a hate-hate relationship with Bernard. He's a psycho. You should probably go watch my video on it. Boris the bear from his comic series. No explanation needed. The Pokemon bears. There's quite a few. Teddy Ursa, Ursaring, Cubchoo, Beartick, Pancham, Pangoros, Snorlax maybe. They're Pokemon. They have powers. I don't. Bark the polar bear. Same line of thinking. He comes from Sonic. I don't think I stand a chance there either. Samantha Strong from the comic Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. It's a serial killer bear. Disco Bear, Flippy, and the other bears from Happy Tree Friends, a show dedicated to the most gory and horrific deaths, and I would be naive to think I would receive something different. Multi-Bear from Gravity Falls. No. Lumpjaw from Disney something or another. The Country Bears. Look at Tennessee O'Neil. Look at these guys. I think I would just die on the spot, out of fear, not intimidation. At least I don't have to fight Liverlips. He's banned now. But I think he would have been the scariest. Monokuma from Danganronpa. I don't know who this is, but I think we'd reach a mutual agreement to not fight because of our similarities with different eyes. But then the second we shake hands, he stabs me. The Pink Bear from Breaking Bad. It would fall from the plane and destroy my head like a penny from the top of the Empire State Building. Gloomy. Every picture you look at, he has blood running out of his mouth, so that's convincing enough. I would try and kick, but I think he'd just bite my foot off. Care Bears. I do think I could beat them individually. Most of them at least. But I think for the challenge, I should fight all of them, and considering they also have powers, they'd find a way to drown me or make the ground grow on top of me. Banjo, I think it's only fair he gets Kazooie, and they're in a fighting game. And last I checked, I'm not in a fighting game. Kuma from Tekken, look at him. Quite possibly the most well-known murderous bear, Freddy Fazbear. I'm combining all FNAF bears into this entry. Golden Freddy, Withered Freddy, Toy Freddy, Phantom Freddy, Nightmare Freddy. I stopped at FNAF 4, I don't know anymore. But I know there are tons. They're all killer animatronics, and I don't think I could beat Steel. Maybe Phantom Freddy I would win, because he's not real. Last I knew. Maybe the lore has changed, not my fault. But they would Bite of 87 me. Billy Bob Broccoli, the Chuck E. Cheese animatronic, fits here too. Was he ever comforting to kids? I know it was decades ago, but how did he get approved? He would eat me, not for the challenge, but for the taste. Freddy Fazbin, he would dematerialize my body. The Charmin Bears, they would strangle me with their ultra strong toilet paper. Nope, not you. Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, these are stars. I could play the waiting game. Something though tells me that's not gonna work. They will just live longer than me. And to end this off with an obvious pick, Poe, the Dragon Warrior. He would end me, and that's it. I've now won, or almost lost, or drawn, or almost won, or lost with basically every fictional bear. And I have successfully answered the question, how would I fare against a bear?